Okay, for Dr. Suchitra's introduction, right?
Yes,
Acha,
yes.
great. This is being live streamed. बोलायला नको. ठीक आहे.
So this is being live streamed where? Facebook?
I think it's YouTube.
YouTube. Okay, ma'am has not joined.
No, 3 of 31. Okay, 31 people have joined.
31? No, I can see
नाही
3
नाही
people.
नाही 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 3 मी थर्ड पेज बघून बोलले सॉरी. Third, 3 people have joined. I think it is the TSMH guy who has, arranged. So
Kushal.
Kushal. Now who has
Suchitra ma'am has joined.
Chitra ma'am has joined. Chat मध्ये. Just trying to make it a full screen, presenter screen. Ha.
Hello, Suchitra ma'am.
Hello, Radhika. Hello, Anuja.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, is the volume
How are
okay,
you, ma'am?
or should we increase it?
No, I think this is
No,
fine.
it's fine.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm audible, right?
This is,
Yes, yes.
yeah, this is getting recorded.
Yeah.
I'll just come back in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
एक second.
There are 5 issues to be fixed. Critical and the rest of the things are anyway to be remediated via omitting their references, right? अच्छा वास्तविकता उसी सॉल्व की
All the slides are going now?
Yes,
Anuja?
yes. I was checking the same.
Yes. And this one, just before this slide, I believe that about the speaker, it is there, right?
Yes.
So you will read it out. So no
Yes,
need.
I'll read it out.
Okay. So once you are done with that, then I will, this slide comes and then
Yes,
I will start with my talk.
yes.
Okay. Who all to thank once again? So I will thank NSI Pune chapter,
Yes.
Symbiosis School of Culinary Arts and Nutrition Sciences and Nutrition Society of India.
Yes.
And also I'll thank the Texas School of Mental Health for hosting the webinar on Zoom platform. Okay?
Right.
Okay. And what about the live streaming you are saying?
Ma'am,
Anything?
it is being live streamed.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Yeah. And how many people have we, do we expect?
Let me just see how many have joined yet.
Only 4 have joined right now.
Right now, no? It's not yet.
There's time.
It's
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
people will join in some time.
There is a mention of a survey which is ongoing, and I have put the URL as well as this thing for it. Huh?
Okay.
Huh. So I was having a word with Radhika, if she is available right now, about going forward with that particular survey.
Mm-hmm.
If Radhika is there, I can just have.
Okay. Radhika ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah. So I was just
Yes.
saying that there is this survey questionnaire which I have just put the URL also, the scanner also.
Yes.
so that people
I
can
think that's a good idea
yeah.
to put it here.
Yeah. And the last slide, I have put my own contact scanner. So if somebody wishes to have the contact, they can just scan this thing.
Sure, sure. That is a
Like,
good idea, ma'am. Yes.
and for
Ma'am, and also if very briefly you can give some idea about your organization,
yeah, I will do that.
UWA.
I will do that. Yes, that I
So
will
I'll
do.
just give a perspective on gender very, very briefly, and then I'll
Correct.
hand it over to Anuja
Fine.
for the introduction.
Huh.
And then Anuja, once introduces, you'll take over.
Yeah, yeah. And I think you have gone through the slides, how it goes. Have you seen?
Yeah, I mean, I've given a cursory look, ma'am. I don't
No,
have to
no, no,
check that.
not an
You're an
issue.
expert.
Yeah. No, we learn so many things, from each other. So
Yeah, of
that helps.
course.
Yeah. So,
We have
so what I was
Mithali
saying,
Shah who has joined. Who's Mithali?
Mitali Shah, I don't know.
Hi, Mithali.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Mitali.
Can you
Hello,
introduce
ma'am. Good
yourself,
evening.
Mithali?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm happy that you are before time. Or are we before time?
That's so
Or
good.
we are
Yes.
all-
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Good evening. I'm Mitali Shah from SNDT College of Home Science, Pune.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's good to have.
Good to meet you,
Yeah.
Mithali.
Same here,
Just
ma'am.
I'll
Thank
also check with students. Just
Yes.
Hello, Harshada is also there. I can see Harshada. Hello, Harshada.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yes.
We will start at 7, right? We are
Yes.
still 5
Yes.
minutes. We have 5 minutes more. Okay.
Aditi or Metali, can you ask your batchmates to join? Aditi or Metali?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Please, thank you.
We'll wait for another 5 minutes and then we can start.
Right.
And then,
Yes.
yeah.
Shall we start in another 2 minutes?
Yeah, we'll wait for another 2 minutes, then we'll
Yeah.
start.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think Anuja, we can start.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah,
Students are joining and they can join on their own, like they don't require any approval or something. So
okay,
yeah.
right. Am I audible to everyone? Am I visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay. Okay, so it's a great pleasure to come up with the next session in our Poshan Samvad. And we are honored to have Suchitra Roy, ma'am, Dr. Suchitra Roy. And before we begin with the session, first of all, let us reflect on how gender is not just any kind of a social concept, or does it really shape whatever we are eating, about which Suchitra ma'am is going to talk more, of course. But across India and globally, we know that men and women are often eating very differently, and everything is influenced by the cultural norms, by intra household food allocation that happens, the social expectations or the social stigmas or the social norms. Like in India, you will see that women generally eat one fewer food group compared to their households. Or also, there is a system, it's very patriarchal, that the women would be eating at the end. And often it has been observed, as per the studies, that women are also missing out on vegetables or meat or dairy, protein primarily, and also the micronutrients. Globally, if we see, the studies have shown that women tend to eat more of fruits and fiber, and they're avoiding the high fat foods relative to men. Of course, there is, of course, body image stigma also is there. But today, let us ask this question to our expert: does gender decide our plate? So, with these thoughts, I hand over to Anuja for the wonderful introduction of Suchitra ma'am. Thank you. Over to you, Anuja.
So good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Because I can hear my own echo.
Yes, you're
Yes,
audible.
yes, you're audible.
Okay, fine. So, yeah, to talk about our speaker, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Suchitra Roy. She holds a PhD in biochemistry with research focused on maternal health and nutrition. She also earned a postgraduate diploma in women and gender studies and is a certified POSH trainer. With more than 2 decades of experience in academics and administration and over 10 years of work on women's issues, Dr. Roy is an independent researcher, subject matter expert, and a speaker. She engages diverse audiences on socially significant topics and translates research into practical educational content for a range of stakeholders. As a facilitator and coach, she works with corporates and educational institutions to help create harassment free workplaces and healthy, inclusive campuses. Her areas of focus include POSH, gender equity, DEI, and nutrition and health. Dr. Roy is president of the University Women's Association, UWA, Pune, and affiliate of the Indian Federation of University Women's Association, IFUWA, and the international NGO, Gradual Women International, GWI. At UWA, she also guides projects under the Women and Gender Program and advancing initiatives on women's welfare, health, nutrition, and harassment-free workplaces. So we welcome you, Dr. Suchitra Roy. Please enlighten us about this wonderful topic, that is, does gender, can the person who is, talking maybe mute herself or himself also? Okay, so does gender decide our plate? Understanding nutrition inequalities. Yes, over to you, Suchitra, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Anuja.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Radhika and the team. Good evening to one and all. A warm welcome to this webinar. I take this opportunity to thank the NSI Pune chapter, Symbiosis School of Culinary Arts and Nutrition Sciences, and the Nutrition Society of India per se, for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on this platform under Poshan Samvad series on mainstreaming nutrition, that is integrating nutrition goals, actions, and considerations into policies, programs, and sectors. So not just looking at nutrition, but looking at it in a holistic way. So nutrition is not only a health issue, but is also linked with various other sectors, multiple sectors rather, agriculture, education, water, sanitation, gender equality, and equity and inclusiveness, as we call it, ensuring that the vulnerable groups are not left behind. I also thank Texas School of Mental Health for hosting this webinar on the Zoom platform, and Dr. Harshada Thakur, who is from the SNDT. So a little bit about University Women's Association. I thank Anuja for those kind words of introducing me. A little bit about the organization I would like to speak, of which I am the president right now. So the University Association is a distinguished association established long back in 1949. So the Pune section is one of the 13 chapters across the country and is an affiliate of IFUA and GWI, as you have already mentioned. So the activities which we conduct over here are basically the R&D cell works a lot at the urban as well as rural level. There are projects which are taken under the environment cell, under Chandarang, that is nurturing hobbies. And all of these foster dialogue, learning, and community outreach. We also have a scholarship program which supports girl students to pursue their higher education. A testament to the women's welfare is the Working Women's Hostel, one of the first of its kind in Pune, located in a very serene atmosphere environment in the heart of the city. This hostel serves as a second home to over 80 working women professionals, and it offers a safe and supportive living space. And recently we have conducted an NGO meet where we could create an NGO circle that is, building bridges between the sister organizations, between the organizations which are trying to work towards some or the other issues. So working together makes it much more comprehensive. So I would like to have my opening slide on gender and sex. As you can see on your screen, I have mentioned gender and sex, and there are two components which are mentioned. So this is a very thought-provoking slide, which I would like to share with all of you and we should think on it, that how sex and gender, they are different. Whereas we use this word very conveniently, alternatively at many situations. In many cases, when we have to write the gender or the sex in any of the applications for any purposes, it is always either gender or sex. So is there a difference between gender and sex? Or is it just like that we can use them interchangeably? So let us focus on this, that what do we mean by sex and what do we mean by gender? So when we are born, the first identity of a person is based on the biology, that is the physical attributes of a person. So when we are born, the first identity what we have is that a live male male baby or a live female baby. So that is the first identification of a person, and that is the sex which has been assigned to you, assigned to us at the time of birth. And this continues to stay all across our lives. What we are assigned in the beginning of our life as per the biological construct, as per the biological attributes. Whereas now we just think beyond this. First, identity is decided now based on our sex, based on our physical attributes and the biological attributes. We have been assigned a particular sex. Now this child who has come to this world needs to be put some clothes. Now what is done? We start having the notion that is already with us, the social construct of having a blue dress and a pink dress. Did the child know that the child should wear a pink dress or a blue dress? No, the child doesn't know. but we know it. And how do we know it? Because it is a kind of norm. It is a kind of perception which we have been seeing over a period of time. All through our life, we have seen that this is what is being practiced, and this becomes a norm. So, this is a culturally and socially constructed norm which we have already decided that the boy should wear the blue color, the girl should wear the pink color. What will go wrong if the girl wears the blue color and the boy wears the other color, that is the pink color? What will happen? Is anything going to happen wrong? No, but this is our presumption, our understanding. We have decided and we see that this is the norm. This should be practiced and we gift accordingly. Okay, now one thing is done, taken care of the clothes. Now the child starts growing and we start thinking of providing toys to the child. Now, what do? We start giving toys as per the sex assigned to the child, isn't it? Don't we do that? What do we do? What do we give the girl child and what do we give the boy child? We have some distinctions, isn't it? I'm sure you all are aware of that. We give dolls to girls and we give mechanics to boys. And we always try to maintain one thing, that boys should be very aggressive. They should not be like shy. They should be aggressive. They should be doing the activities which are more focused towards strength training. And they should never cry. Okay. Whereas the other attributes like being very sober, being very gentle, being very much, caring are the attributes which we have just sideline for the girl child, isn't it? We do it very often. All of us do it because this is something we have been trained culturally, socially, all through our lives. We have seen this happening and we feel that this is the norm and this should be practiced. Anything which goes beyond this, a child, a girl child who says that, no, I want to only play with the mechanics, we suddenly start thinking this girl is behaving certain erratic. अरे ये लड़की तो बिल्कुल लड़कों जैसा बिहेव करने लगी है, बोलते हैं ना. और वैसे ही अगर कोई लड़का थोड़ा सा शाई हो, थोड़ा सा टिमिड हो, जो हम लोग सोशली हम लोग जिसको जानते हैं ना, जिस तरह से एक लड़का बिहेव करना चाहिए, अगर वो उस तरह से नहीं बिहेव करता है तो क्या कहते हैं उसको? उसको कहते हैं कैसे लड़कियों की तरह रोता है. डोंट वी डू दैट? We do it very often because these are norms which are already prescribed by the society, which we have been practicing and we feel the same should be practiced. Anything which just moves from that particular norm, from the ideal, is considered something not right, isn't it? So, culturally and socially constructed roles, responsibilities, privileges, relations, expectations, all these form the gender. So, why we talk about gender in the coming slides also, you will see that everywhere I'm not using the term sex, but gender, because we have in our society so far used gender and sex as the same term. Now, one question I have for all of you, do you know any other term and any other language in which you know the term gender is used? It would be very interesting if you can come up with that answer through the chat box or whatever way you can, because I would love to know that. Gender and sex. हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं जेंडर या सेक्स को? क्या कहते हैं? क्या अलग अलग वर्ड्स हैं क्या उसके लिए असाइन की हुई है? अगर स्टूडेंट्स हो तो उनको जरूर दे शुड पार्टिसिपेट इन व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि अगर जेंडर और सेक्स दो अलग अलग वर्ड है तो हम लोग उनके लिए क्या कौन सा दूसरा वर्ड है हिंदी में? बाकी लैंग्वेजेस को ठीक है, वी कैन फॉर द टाइम बीइंग जस्ट फॉरगेट. जस्ट इन हिंदी लैंग्वेज डू वी हैव? Yes, somebody has said, I think Toshinder has said, gender is ling. Okay, Toshinder, this goes good. Gender is ling. And what is sex in Hindi then? Yes, please be interactive because it makes more sense. Otherwise, it would be just a lecture which you will not enjoy. Let's make it interactive. You can just type it down there. Okay, I think I should come up. So, जेंडर या सेक्स जो वर्ड है दोनों, इनका हिंदी में ऐसा अलग अलग वर्ड नहीं है. हिंदी में हमको मालूम है कि वो जा रहा है, वो जा रही है. These are the words which we know for assigning the particular gender to that person. But here gender and sex is not making any much difference. Okay, so this is how it works. But generally, you will not find another language which has this kind of distinction in gender and sex separately. Okay, so English that way has got this word gender as a unique terminology, and we have got this concept through this word, and which is very interesting. Now we will go to the next slide, understanding gender roles, stereotypes, and inequality. So what can you see? No, the earlier slide, please. Earlier slide, please. Anuja, please go to the earlier slide. Yeah, thank you. So the gender stereotypes, what we are talking about here is the representations, the gender stereotypes. So the boys or the men shown as doctors, engineers, scientists, farmers, kings, soldiers, these are all either professions or the stereotypes which we have seen all through. And we have a particular gender which portrays that. So here we are talking of gender as a alignment of sex, calling it as a cisgender role. Okay, so this is cisgender, which is the sex and the gender going in the same terms as they are supposed to be. So this is cisgender. You get my point? Cis means on the same side, cisgender. So gender and sex aligned. These gender roles are the stereotypes. Okay, because whenever you go through your textbooks, any books you read or any movie you watch, generally you will find that the traits, the attributes of the male members, of the male who are being portrayed, the men or the male members who are portrayed, have a particular role to play, the gender role to play, and these form the stereotypes. Whereas the girls are generally shown as teachers, as nurses, isn't it? There are professions which have been assigned to a particular gender accordingly. Also, if you think about in certain storybooks, also, if you will read the books, you will always see that the roles of the, the kind of valor and the kind of what they have done, the courage, the bravery which has been shown by the particular person in that role, it is shown that men are brave, men are doing lot of, strength training things which are assigned to them as per their sex. Men should be strong, right? Whereas in those stories only, in some other stories, you will find that generally women are portrayed as somebody who is caregiving, somebody who end of it is sacrificing everything. So what role, what image you have about the women is that they should be sacrificing in their lives, in their roles, either in family, in community, or anywhere else, even in the mythology. Just think about how it is. So this is the gender roles and the stereotypes which we have been observing, and why we are talking in a session which is based on nutrition. Why are we talking? Because nutrition cannot be treated singly as only nutrition. So I will just say my own experience that when I did my research on the maternal health and nutrition, after that, I tried to work upon women. I tried to create awareness sessions for the women for whom it is intended to. Getting my point? I wanted to talk to the women who are pregnant, lactating women, even children in schools. But what I realized over a period of time is that the nutrition session doesn't help till the time we have a gender dynamics which is attached to it. Because I will tell you why. Because when you speak to a daughter in law, who is the pregnant mother, I mean, the pregnant lady, the decision of food choice or preparation of food, the intake of food, how much food she should have, is not under her control. This is also gender because there are family dynamics, power dynamics, which are played in a family and overall in the community as well. So here we understand that there are gender dynamics which are playing all across. So when we talk about nutrition, it has to be a complete awareness session, not only for a particular group of the family or of the community, but for all stakeholders, so that care can be taken from all sides. Next slide, please. Here you can see that I have written gender lens. Gender lens. Now, this is a story I would like to tell you. So, you can see this person who is sitting and, he's working. And all the time, what he is thinking, that I am working. He is an IT professional and his wife is a qualified chartered accountant, but she cannot work because they have to take care of the household chores also. So the wife is sitting back home and he comes out to work because they have to run the family. But he is in a very dilemma. He thinks that he is good at doing the home chores better and his wife can take care of the going outside part. So what he does, he goes out and tells to his colleagues that, see, I'm thinking like this. My wife is very qualified and she can take care of the job front. She can earn for the family and I can stay back at home. I can take care of the home chores. So he is being ridiculed. Why he is being ridiculed? Because he is going against the societal norms. The man should earn and the wife should work at home is the norm, which slowly is getting better, this kind of a concept. And many people, many girls, many women have started working, but there are a lot of issues, lot of constraints, because of which there are a lot of women who have to opt out of their work because of the constraints at home front. So this is gender lens and it affects both. So you can see here that it is not only the women, but also the men who are affected through the gender lens of the society. Yes, next please. So why this topic we have chosen and why we are talking on this? So you can see over your slide that it is not just the nourishment, but our culture as well as identity, which is very important. Gender will decide who eats, what, when, how much, and this will help us in understanding the health equity first and then equality, because we have to first understand what is the gap. For that, we will have to create the equity so that we reach up to equality. Next slide. So, who decides the menu? And this is not just a statement. This is as per the findings of the National Family Health Survey, which fifth National Family Health Survey that is conducted in 2019 to 2021. So this is the report which says that often male members are the deciding people for any of the decisions to be taken at home, and also for the menu. What food should be cooked at home is taken care of by the male members or the earning members. So there is a patriarchal setup which works in this particular field in all across actually. But this is not just a statement, as I have already told you. This is as per the survey report of the National Family Health Survey. That is the fifth survey report. Next, please. Now there are scientific basis, that is the nutritional needs of men and women are scientifically based. It's not just that we only have a requirement of a particular type just based on our understanding. It is based purely on science, and the physiology makes it very pertinent that who should eat what, and it is based on the physiology of individuals being men or women. So because the muscle mass in case of men is higher, the requirement of proteins is much higher in case of men. The role of hormones, especially the testosterones and estrogen, they play a very vital role in the nutritional needs and the metabolism of food inside the body. Yes, please. Next. So the Indian household, we see that men eat first, women eat last, and women generally adjust their the portions to feed the family. So there is a hierarchy of power within the home. Yes. So as I said, the nutritional needs of men. So you can see the protein needs, the energy and macronutrients requirements, the micronutrients which are of concern, and the special nutritional needs. Because men and women both need nutrition, and there is a particular need for a particular sex or particular gender per se. Yes. So here we can see that the nutritional needs of women are different from that of men. And what is the difference? Basically, there is a higher need of iron over here. And why there is a need of higher level of iron? Because there is a loss of blood in during the menstruation. There is more requirement of blood to during the lactation, during breastfeeding, it is required. And also for in case of women who are married very early, so during adolescence, as we know that there is lot of energy requirement of the body, and women, if they are married early, so this is a double burden for those women when they are married early, and their requirements as such as the adolescent individual is very high. And added to that, when there is the requirement of the pregnancy needs to be fulfilled, their nutrition, their diet has to be sufficiently well. Yes. So now, again, we come back to the health survey. See, these are reports which are there. These are the markers which we can see here, the prevalence of anemia. You can see the strikingly difference between the percentage in men and women, and it has actually worsened from the previous survey. So the worsening from the previous survey, why I have highlighted this, all the other things, these are, you can see that hypertension, diabetes, overweight, obesity, these all are indicators, and there is a prevalence of all these entities in India. And we can see that there is a slight, skewing either this side or that side in all the cases. And as per age, these trends are also changing. But this is a predominant feature, that is anemia, which is predominantly seen in the women and generally during the reproductive phase of life. So we can see that this is something which needs to be addressed very much in the society, because this is not any early data, this is recent data. So actually NFHS 6 is also already taken place and the reports are awaited. And that will give us 2024's data. I mean, 23-24 was the 6th NFHS which took place. So the data is still awaited. Once we get that data, we will be able to do the next survey. The government will be able to take the next survey in 2027. But this is the latest report. As per the latest report, this is the data. And here you can see that this is the underweight percentage shown in terms of the colors, which are slowly getting darker, showing the higher percentage of the people under the underweight category. It is also a part of the report. That is the NFHS 5 report. So which again shows, and this is in women, underweight women in this study. This is the kind of data we have received from that, which is again very warning. Yes, next please. So prevalence of anemia in Indian population, we can see that there is a very wide range of prevalence of anemia in the Indian population. So why does anemia occur? It is because of the count and size of RBCs is very small. The size of RBCs is small. Concentration of hemoglobin is less, and it drops below a defined threshold. In case of women who are pregnant, the value below 11 is considered as anemic. And for non-pregnant ladies, it is less than 12 grams per DL. And why does anemia happen? Anemia is the prevalence of anemia is because of the nutritional deficiency of majorly iron deficiency. Then there are infectious diseases such as HIV, and there are genetic disorders also, which lead to either engulfing of the blood cells, the RBCs, or they are not formed only. There is a blood loss from the body, acute blood loss from the body. All this can lead to anemia. Yes, next, please. Now, there are certain gender-specific vulnerabilities. Women face dual burden. So the biological risk, that is the postmenopause, the gestational factors. Now, men show higher risk behaviors towards certain substance abuses like tobacco, alcohol, etc., which translate into higher early onset of certain NCDs. Also, the social constraints like the lower health seeking, less autonomy, dietary inequalities or inequities. So anemia remains a very serious issue for women, and it is a strong nutritional intervention is required for this particular case of anemia being prevalent in the country. So iron, folate, and diet diversity. So iron supplementation, folate supplementation, and diet diversity are few of the recommendations which have actually worked in the past also, but there needs to be more robust programs which can actually work on that. Central obesity, overweight, obesity, and high BMI are again associated with hypertension, and these are not gender specific. The last two are not gender specific, but overall these are the vulnerabilities people go through, both men and women. But women with the dual burden and also with anemia being one of the prevalent vulnerable cases, this is a high alert situation in the country. Yes, please. Now we will come to the cultural, social, and psychological influences. So what are these cultural, social, and psychological influences? So is food a cultural thing? As in the beginning of the webinar, Radhika ma'am spoke about it. Cultural, social, and psychological influences. So how can food be cultural? How can food be social? And how can it have psychological influences? Let us see in this section. So the cultural influences on diet. So we can see here that the culture, different festivals across the country, which have, some kind of influences on the health of men, for which women perform certain sacrifices, certain fastings. So these fastings are generally done by women. And why there is a problem with this fasting? No, there is no problem with the fasting as such, but why are we addressing this particular issue? Because we can see here that women are put on fast, or they keep fast, and they feel that this sacrifice can help them in certain ways. Here, there is a message for all the women that if your health is not well, if you are anemic, if you have some kind of problem like you are menstruating, you are lactating, you are breastfeeding around that time, there is it's a very, very serious situation if women during pregnancy or such periods they go for fasting and their health is definitely at risk. So festivals or the cultural influences should not affect the health of individuals, and women should be extra careful because they are also taking the dual burden of pregnancy, the dual burden of the menstrual cycles. So it has to be very much balanced and checked. Yes. The social factors also limit the economy. The economy, that is the earning members, are prioritized. You must have seen that many a times there are economic limits. When you go to a family which has some financial constraints, you will always see that if there is not sufficient supply of milk or other, nutritional food items which are there in the family, if there is a kind of constraint in that, the boy, the male member of the family is given importance, because one thing is that the male member is the earning member and the boy, because we have patriarchy and patrilineal. So the boy continues to be with the family and he will be the breadwinner. He will be taking care of the family. So that is the kind of thought and belief behind this particular practice, that earning members are prioritized, and also the men, the boys are given the priority because They are supposed to take the generations ahead. Girls are married away. So in case of financial constraints, these are the kind of priorities which are given. Then workload. What happens is that women skip meals, and because of the workload, because they have been cooking all the while, they are taking care of the family, so they don't get time to eat, and end of the day they are left with only the leftovers, and they just have something to fill their stomach. So we can see that there is a divide in the urban and rural setup, of course. More choice in cities, but there are gaps even in the city life, which shows that there is a gap between the gender in terms of social factors, even in the urban setup. Yes, please. So gender dating and child health. So mother's nutrition directly is affecting the baby's growth. So if there is malnutrition, the maternal mortality risk also increases. There is anemic mothers giving rise to low birth weight babies, and low birth is known to be a factor which leads to unhealthy lives of people. Malnourished mothers give rise to malnourished children, and overall it impacts the economy of the that particular place and overall country. So gendered eating and child health is also a very, very important feature which needs to be addressed. So this is affecting the economy after all. It is not just nutrition, but it is impacting the economy of the country. Yes, please. Now, how it is psychologically impacting? So what happens is when we say that the woman is eating at the last, she is the person who is eating the leftover. There is a sense of neglect. There is a sense of low self-worth, low self-esteem. So there is a sacrifice. As a duty, there is a sacrifice which is internalized within the individuals. And this impacts the mental health as well as the self-esteem of women. So there is a psychological impact of the nutrition of the food we eat, and this also needs to be addressed. Yes, next, please. And there is a vicious cycle of poverty. Here you can say that there is a case study on a rural home where we found that there is limited access to proteins and milk, and there we can see that there is the women who eats the last and is compromising her nutrition, and the women are often undernourished. So this is something you can see that this is actually happening in rural as well as urban setups both. The nutritional status of a population is critical to the development of the well-being of a nation. This is as per the National Nutrition Policy of the country. You can see the vicious cycle. Yes, we move to the next slide. Now here you can see that there is malnutrition as well as malnutrition both. So there is a double burden we are actually facing. There is food insecurity, there is nutrition insecurity, there is undernutrition also. And women face both anemia and obesity. There is excess food intake, less physical activity, absence of diversity in the food items, and there is addition of energy dense food, which is detrimental to the health of individuals. So actually, if we look at the global health index, the global health index over the last 2 years have shown India as having a serious concern on the hunger index. And there is a serious concern about it. So what happens is when we say that the global hunger index has put India on a higher place where it should not have been. So there are thoughts on the procedural lacunae which might have led that India has a higher global hunger index, but it continues to hover and it continues to make sense that there is a huge diversity, there is a huge deviation in the kind of nutrition that people have all across the classes, the strata of the society. And this is the reason of having a global hunger index being higher for India. And this is one of the very logical reasoning why India has been placed under that particular scale in the index. among the other countries, that is 127 countries which participated in that particular hunger index program. Okay, so we are actually facing hunger, and it is also being reported. So here GDP and women, see, it is very important to understand that today women are working at par with men. And now if we look at the GDP of the latest GDP which we have, so how it shows the presence of women, how it shows the contribution of women, the share of women is shown to be as 17 to 18% of India's GDP, and it is being 48% of the population. So how do we analyze this particular thing? How do we talk about this? The implication being this large gap suggests huge untapped economic potential in increasing women's economic participation. If we look at the female labor force participation rate, it rose from 23%, 23.3% almost in 17-18 to almost 41.7% in the latest report in 23-24. So it shows that there is a trend of women entering the workforce, and which increases their direct contribution to GDP. Now, this is very important, and this is very interesting also. See, this is unpaid domestic work. Does a woman get paid for the work she does for at home, for her family, for her children? So this is the unpaid domestic work which has been calculated in the calculation of GDP, and the unpaid domestic or care work by women is valued at 7.5% of India's GDP. And also it has been reported in one of the SBI reports to be at the rate of 22.7 lakh crore. And this is by combining both the rural and urban population. So the implication is much of women's economic contribution is invisible and unpaid. Accounting for it would raise measured contribution. So do we have any measured contribution? Can we say that how many hours a woman works for at home for running her family, for doing the household chores? Do we have any measure? We do not have any measure. So this is very, very important aspect which needs to be looked at. So comparison with the global average, you can see over here that the contribution of women to GDP is 7 to 18%, which is well below the global average of 30 to 37 percentage, as has been reported in many studies. So India lags many countries. Improving women's workforce inclusion is also alignment with the global norms, definitely. Yes, next slide, please. So here is a survey which is already in circulation. So this survey is basically to understand this. I have circulated already to various sectors, I mean, all across. So this survey is not just for students or for, individuals who are professionals or for a particular, strata of the society. This is for each and everybody who can participate. And there is one scanner over here. So whoever wishes to participate in this particular survey can scan this and directly go to this survey and answer. So this includes the demographics. So this is the introductory part. The demographics will be asked in the questionnaire. Then, yes, so the gender roles in food and nutrition can be.
I think if you can, ma'am, share this into the chat box.
Yes.
They can probably, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yes, Anuja, if you can please do that. Anuja, ma'am, please. Request Anuja, ma'am, to please share it.
I'm doing it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Then the gender roles in food and nutrition awareness and health. So these are the, the subsections under which you will be answering the questions. One of the subjective questions, most of these questions are objective only. And only a few questions are of subjective nature. And this one of the questions is, in your opinion, what changes are needed to ensure equal nutrition for women and men in families? So I would request you all to, scan this and participate in this study. And it will be definitely circulated, definitely shared with you all, the results. There is a URL also, which is also displayed over here, which can be also accessed. So this study, we will actually pull out the data post-November. So till then we have time, you can participate and send us the information pertaining to this so that we can work on it. Yes, next please.
Just a moment.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we have the role of women's empowerment in improving the nutritional status of children under 5 years of age. So again, an insight from the National Family Health Survey, the 5th survey, which happened, and these are the findings. So it is known that childhood malnutrition is a global concern. Women's empowerment, that is, gained global recognition as a potential catalyst for improving child nutrition. So this is very important that we know about child malnutrition as a global concern, and we now know that women empowerment, it has gained global recognition as a potential catalyst for improving child nutrition. So what are the key findings of this study? So here, the importance of family planning, financial inclusion, access to mobile phones, and higher education for women. These are the findings, and this helps the nutritional status of children under 5 years of age. So can you see what are the findings? Isn't it very interesting? That one of the thing is that the size of the family. Family planning is important. Financial inclusion, that is, women are included in taking the decisions in the family. That is very important. Next is that access to mobile phone. This is very interesting that women who have access to mobile phone, that they feel more empowered. So as per the study structure, it has shown that the access to mobile phones has given more empowerment to women, and also the educational status. So the higher education for women also has given them a better uh, side to work upon, and this will help improve the nutritional status of children under 5 years of age, which is very, very, very important for all of us, that we can improve the nutritional status of children at this age. So the bottom line is here, this particular slide is for the policymakers who can utilize these insights to make the targeted strategies for women empowerment, thus improving the nutritional status of child. So at unit level, that is at family level, there can be there are certain things which can be done at the unit level of family, certain things which can be done at the level of community, and also ngiotic activities. If some NGOs are there today in this particular session, I would urge that NGOs should come together and see how we can make this possible, that we can provide higher education. So higher educational system, people who are in the higher educational system should take care that how higher educational possibilities can be made better for women to make them more empowered. Then family planning, how it can be done in a more robust manner, how women can be included in the financial decisions, that is financial inclusion metrics is also equally important, and how this particular thing, this is one very, very important feature, that access to mobile phones has shown to be very, very important indicator of empowerment. So with this we move ahead. Now there are social and cultural interventions, so we need to shift the gender norms. There is a need for the shared domestic responsibilities so women can participate in economic activities. We highlight the economic and social value of women's work, paid or unpaid. Maybe just with a appreciation, a word of appreciation also helps at times. So, but how it can be done? It can be done through the awareness campaigns. Now, shifting of gender norms is again a kind of, training the mind, the training the people. Different stakeholder involvement is required, because shifting the gender norms is not just one person's work, not one family's work, not one person's or families or one community. It has to be a holistic approach which can shift these gender norms, and there has to be a continuous process to take care of this. Childcare centers need to be there, available. Elder care support. safe transport, enhance mobility and workforce participation. Here we are talking about these factors because when there are small children at home, there are elderly at home, and there is a problem of transportation. So if these things are taken care of, women can participate in the economic sector more, and then they can contribute to the economic development and their own self growth in terms of improving their own nutrition, because they will be empowered, and they will also try to eat better because they will have a kind of say, they will be part of the decision making of the family, and slowly they can move further towards the community. So these are the social and cultural interventions which can help us in this process. When we talk of nutrition, it is not just nutrition, but we need all these supportive mechanisms to move further. For any woman, for any individual, it is important that all these things are taken care of. Then only we can think of the way ahead. So, yes, we move to the next slide, please. So how this can be done? There are several ways of doing this, and already there are the government bodies which are trying to do this, and there are some other bodies which are trying to take care of certain of these activities. So awareness workshops for families. See, generally what happens, the awareness workshops are taken either in the workplaces or in the schools or colleges where only the children, the students take part in that. So what happens that there remains a gap. So we are trying to, introduce, we try to give a particular kind of awareness to the students, or a particular kind of awareness to a particular strata or a particular group of individuals in the society, but that doesn't reach the entire family, or that doesn't go beyond the family to the community. So there is a need for awareness workshops for families. So these are community as well as family roles. So how community can help and how the family can also get benefited through it. So encourage equal portions for all. Through this, what we should be encouraging, that is equal portions for all. So men should also fast, share sacrifices, share decision on making on food. School-based nutrition education. This is something very important, and in some cases it has already begun, but it needs more, much more needs to be done. And equal serving practices at homes. This will ensure equity and later on equality also in terms of gender. Yes, please. So policy responses, if we look at the policy responses, we can see that the government has already started with the ICDs, the Poshan Abhiyan, as well as midday meals, which we can see that this at the government level, they have been started, and in various districts, they are already in place. There is Anemia Mukt Bharat initiative. In 2018, this has already been started. And ICDS is a very long run initiative. In the 1975, it started. Poshan Abhiyan again in 2000s. Midday meals is a new initiative, but it has its own, all these policies have got their own, certain challenges to work upon. So there are gaps because there are weak implementation and there is awareness issue which need to be worked upon. Okay, so policy responses, again, this is for the stakeholders to take care of it. But then as individuals, as the individuals who have got the access to so many things, the privileged class should know about this, how we can help the communities in coming up, in closing these gaps. So the weak implementation and awareness needs to be looked at by the policymakers, but through people who are more aware on this can be taken up more rigorously, of course. Yes, please, again. So FAO is one of the global perspectives. The SDGs, SDG 5, SDG 2, these are already there in place. The FAO is basically the association which works towards, not only towards nutrition of women, but it works on a holistic approach. So this, in India also, we have the presence of FAO, which works towards this. So the nutrition program of India works with the FAO's this thing. It is a part of the nutrition program which runs in the country. So FAO's participation as a global perspective is very important. The SDGs need to be addressed more professionally, more at every level, so that SDGs need to be, propagated in schools, in colleges, what they mean, what is gender equality, what is zero hunger. So a need to have gender sensitizations and awareness sessions on hunger and satiety, and to adopt gender inclusive food policies. Yes, please. So the key takeaways from this session, I would like to put forward that gender does shape our plate. Women's nutrition matters, and there is a need for equality at the dining table. Do you all agree? I would like to know the perspectives also. Yes, because it is very important that we understand the perspectives what you have. Yes, thank you. We can move to the next slide.
Ma'am, is the next slide visible? I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So with this, I would like to thank you all for your patient hearing. And through the scanner, you can just scan my contact. This is a scanner through which you can just directly get my number. So now I would request a kind of discussion, because I would like the insights of the participants, because that always helps. And I always believe in participatory approach, because that helps. If you have anything which you would like to discuss, it would be very nice for me to have that discussion over here. Anybody having any kind of an issue? Yes, Anushka is having a raised hand, I think. Yes, Anushka. Anushka has a raised hand. No, I'm sorry. There was no raised hand.
Hello, ma'am.
Anybody who? Yes, please.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. I'm Shabdali from SNDT College of Home Science. So
Yes.
I want to ask you that when less quantity of the woman she's eating, but still there is a obesity is higher risk in the woman. What is the main points that you can highlight?
See, obesity will depend upon many factors. First will be the gene. Second will be the kind of age that person is in. Either the person is menopausal or perimenopausal or postmenopausal. All these factors will definitely depend, or any other factor. There can be genetic factors as well. So what age are we talking about? What age of a person are we
It's just
talking about?
normal, beyond 35 to almost 60, 65.
Yes. So see, in case of obesity, if a person is eating well, absolutely well, there can be genes which are there, which can be the underlying issues. And many a times now the genes have been identified in many studies, where we can work upon those genes, particular genes, because they are the hindering factors. But normally, if you look at, the portion size matters, and also in case of the different kind of vulnerabilities women go through, like for instance the menopausal age differs from person to person. So during menopause, the estrogen levels, it falls down, and that contributes to a major havoc in the system. And there is a constant obesity, even though the person tries to do lot of kinds of, nutrition programming, the person going for all kinds of, this diet, that diet, the Vekar diet, and so many other diets, but then it doesn't help. So it becomes a very, what do you call it, as a hatti, it becomes very hatti kind of a thing, that obesity. So these are many factors, there are many factors which work. So it has to be case to case, it cannot be a single size fits all, right? So
Yes,
one
ma'am.
has to
Thank
see
you.
what is the particular
Yeah.
case, as per that we can talk about.
So we can give accurate calories with the hormonal manageable things so they can be the good for them also. Thank you.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Because
adding
even
on
leptin,
to yes.
even leptin
So,
is one of the hormones which very many a times what happens is the, the hormone which helps for the satiety part. So hunger and satiety is controlled by the leptin hormone. Right, but it gets disturbed due
Yeah.
to various reasons. Generally, leptin resistance is found in men, but in women, due to various reasons, it happens at times that leptin plays a very major role in this particular case. That person becomes obese without even having such kind of, diets. So all these hormonal levels need to be checked properly before going for any intervention.
Yes, ma'am. And also it depends on the mood swings also. So thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, of course.
So, just to add on a perspective to what Suchitra ma'am was saying, see, when you mentioned that there is obesity, but still the women is not having much food, you know what? If I also look at a social determinant aspect of it is probably the priority is not given by the women also to what she's consuming. Whatever is left over, whatever is available, it is mostly the high carb kind of a things which are available, and then you feel okay, I'm hungry, so let me have that. So that very perspective of that I need to consume a diet which is balanced, which is giving me sufficient proteins, which is taking care of my micronutrients, that doesn't come as a priority. So that is often a gender perspective that you will see. So as ma'am was mentioning about the awareness to be given, I think that kind of an awareness that no matter how hungry you are, you should grab the snacks which, or you should have the foods which are also, balanced in nutrition is something where the mindset change needs to happen. Because whatever is available in the home, which is usually high carb, tends to get consumed. So this is generally observed. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for a wonderful question as well. So I think we are done. It's already
I
8:05
would like
now.
to request for a group video, I mean, a group photo.
Yes.
I would
Can
request
we all
everyone to,
switch on the
switch on their videos.
videos, please? And then we'll hand over to Harshada ma'am.
Ma'am, there is one question in the chat box
Acha. Okay.
to
Yes,
Suchitra
yes.
ma'am.
There is
I
a
just see
question.
that.
Yeah. Should I? Okay, Harshada ma'am, you go ahead. You tell what is
Okay,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
the question is gender defines the plate and palette of a woman. Do you think it varies as per the family means and income? Is the
Yes,
question.
I think definitely it means, it definitely matters. But if we look at the social structure, uh, gender defines the plate and palette of a woman. Do you think it varies as per the family uh, means and income? I think it is more of a social issue, more of a social issue than being a financial issue, because
Hmm.
it is how we treat women in the family, it is very important. Many a times I have come across women belonging to very elite families, but they will just say, and this is unknowingly, they say that my son participates in the home chores, he comes back home and he's taking care of the family, as if it is something he's doing, I mean, out of the way. the woman is doing the full day, but then that doesn't get, appreciated, doesn't get recognized. So the same thing applies at the dining table also. So when we sit for the, for our food, that same thing, that same mindset is there as well. So there is no question of having your own plate or palette. It is defined, it is actually decided by somebody else in the family. So it is a more of a social issue. While financial constraints do matter, financial constraints do have their own impact. But then if we look at it, it is more the larger, if you look at the larger picture, it is a social issue. Thank you, Vasanti, for asking this question. I think I answered you. Could I? You can unmute and you can speak, please. Okay, thanks, Vasanti.
Okay, so I request everyone, please switch on their cameras so that, I can. Everyone.
You're taking a grid view, is it, Anuja?
Yeah, yes, but people are still not, opening up.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Whosoever is there, let us wind up
Yes,
faster.
yes. It's done, it's done.
Yeah, okay. So, over to you, Harshada ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Radhika ma'am. And on behalf of Nutrition Society of India Pune chapter, it is yet again my privilege to extend this vote of thanks for the second session of Poshan Sanvad. Our heartfelt thanks to Dr. Radhika Hedau for her constant support and encouragement always. And I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, Dr. Suchitra Roy, for shedding light on such a crucial yet often overlooked issue. Your insight have really helped us in better understanding how deeply gender can influence nutritional access, food choices, and overall health outcome. Your real world examples in the presentation and thoughtful analysis shared today have not only informed us but also inspired reflection and action. And finally, after your presentation, I would like to just quote the motto of my university, which is SNDT Women's University, the first women's university of Asia, Sanskrita Sri Parashakti, which ultimately can be translated as an enlightened woman is a source of infinite strength. And a takeaway from your presentation that we can always think of that women's health, women's nutritional status is very important so that a family and ultimately the nation can go ahead. Special mention of thanks to Miss Anuja Mohile for planning and putting up all the logistics together for today's session. And we are equally grateful to all the collaborators for today's session. University Women's Association, Symbiosis School of Culinary Arts and Nutritional Sciences, SIU, and Texas School of Mental Health for all the support and especially the technical support. Finally, a big thank you to all the participants for your enthusiasm, and you make this program truly meaningful with such a collaborative effect support, sorry, and goodwill. I'm confident that this Poshan Sanvad series will be enriching for everyone. Thank you once again, and see you all in the next week with yet another interesting session. Thank you, Radhika ma'am, and over to you, Anuja.
Thank you so much, Harshada ma'am. So I request all the participants to spare another second to view our next Poshan Samvad, which is going to be a panel discussion. We started with the gender perspective with Suchitra ma'am, and we are going to have men discussing about the health and how they are the catalyst of nutrition, education, and family well-being. So we are having people who are working in wonderful capacities in their different domains. So we have academician and a chef, Professor Atul Gokhale. We have a social scientist and a nutrition communication expert, Dr. Subba Rao sir. We have Dr. Girish Lad, who is also a founder chairman of Texas School of Mental Health. And we have Dr. Siddharth Wagulkar, who is a nutrition officer of the World Food Program. So I think this would be a very interesting panel discussion where each one of them is going to share their perspectives, and it is going to be very interactive, and there would also be a lot of crosstalks among them. So we look forward to have all of you for the coming webinar as well. Kindly note the coming webinar, and also these webinar series will give you certificates as well of your participation. And it would be very interesting to see the mainstreaming health through these wonderful experts who are working in different domains for bringing into the gender equality, and I would say a gender equity. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all of you for joining. Thank you, Harshada ma'am. Thank you,
Thank you,
Anuja.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Suchitra ma'am.
Suchitra, ma'am.
Thank
you
you
so much.
all
Thank
for
you.
joining and making the session interesting. Let's meet next time. So for the day,
Yes,
we are done.
yes. And thank you, Texas School.